how's everybody doing this morning? Good. Anybody learn anything about ag? Well, my name's Jason Eakers, and I'm the ag mentor for Wayne County Schools. Have any of you met me before?
No.
I didn't recognize anybody. I was here last year. So, Ms. Ramey here can teach you a lot about things that you might not get to experience at home. Hopefully you do. You know, what grade you all in? 6 through 8 or?
6.
Okay, in about 10 years, some of you all will be married. Can you believe that? So what you want to keep in mind, you don't have to necessarily become a farmer, but anything that you learn in this class, you can use in life, like feeding your family. So you might not get out here and you grow production. You might not be interested in being a farmer, but you can still have a home garden. And when you have a home garden, you have a lot healthier. Anytime you're eating local food, it's always going to be more fresh, and it's going to be healthier for you. So if you can learn how to grow a tomato, you might not necessarily like tomatoes, but your family may. So it's very important that you learn to grow things, because at this age you might not think that it's as important, but in life you will use what you learn in this class. So what I wanted to talk to you about today is if you're growing corn like you have out back here. You know, corn is as close to grass as any other plant. It's from the grass family. There's 3 different major types of corn. Can anybody name one type of corn? Like what you're growing out back here would be sweet corn. That's what we eat, human consumption. Then there's a field corn. And a field corn is raised to do many different things, including feeding animals. So has anybody ever seen corn that you feed deer, or you're feeding your hogs, or maybe cows, or whatever you're feeding? It's going to be real hard, because when you raise sweet corn, you're picking it when it's the ripest and it's soft and juicy. Well, when you're raising field corn, you want it to dry out, and that's when you become, it becomes a hard corn, which you could, if you crunched it, it would be brittle, nasty, and dry. Now there's one more corn that you grow, and this is a corn that a lot of people eat while they're watching movies. Anybody guess that one? Popcorn. And popcorn grows just like any other corn. But when you get the ears, you let it dry out like you do field corn, which is to feed animals. And the field corn, the only difference is the ears is going to be a lot bigger. And the popcorn is going to be real small kernels, which you've seen at home, I'm sure. But you can dry that out and actually raise your own popcorn. Now, do you have any idea how many different uses that corn is used for? Does anybody know? Take a guess, somebody. It's in soda. It's in candies. Cornmeal.
Corn oil.
Huh? Corn syrup.
Corn oil.
Corn oil. It's in detergents, laundry detergents, soaps. There's over 4,000 uses for corn. The number 1 crop in America that's grown today, out in the Midwest, would be corn. There's over 4,000 uses. Does anybody know what a corn was originally called way back when? Maize. Just remember, you go to a corn maze, well, maize was actually what corn used to be called. There's so many different types of corn now. There's triple sweets, which is what I raise. That's ambrosia, it's very sweet. And then there's some older corn like Silver Queen, Silver King. And a lot of those older corns, the older generation still likes, because they've never had this newer sweet corn. A lot of people, have you ever had pickled corn? Okay, a lot of people pickle the older kind of corn. There's many different colors. If you see an all yellow ear, it's a yellow. And if you see a ear that has white corn and yellow corn mixed, does anybody know what that's called? That's a bicolor. They call it a bicolor corn. This ambrosia is a bicolor. A lot of people have it in their mind that it has to be bicolor to be sweet, but that's not true. Does anybody have any questions? Do y'all think I'm kind of corny? Okay, on top of the corn, you've got the brown, it looks like little flowers. That's called the tassel. That's the male part of the plant. The ear sits down on the side. It's got little looking hairs coming out, okay? That's the female. In order to have production in corn, when the tassels come out, the wind blows it and it pollinates by falling down onto those little hairs, which is the female part of the plant. And if you don't have pollination, if you went through and you cut the top off, you're cutting the male off, you would not have an ear of corn unless pollen flew from the other corn plant beside of it and pollinated. So the male part of the plant is the tassel. The female part is actually the ear where the hairs come out. Each one of those little hairs on an ear of corn, each hair, if you counted all those hairs, that would tell you how many kernels is on the ear of corn. So for each ear, on each ear of corn, where each kernel is, there'll be one little silk per kernel. So what I told you was you can eat it raw and it's sweeter. What do y'all think? Awesome. As always, I enjoyed myself talking to the students a little bit about ag. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.